Well, we're going to do another little show and tell here because I was involved in conventions for close to 30 years and met some cool people coming through the whole thing. And this is when they didn't charge for autographs, or they charged minimal, or they were just thankful for being picked up at the airport, or maybe I hooked them up with a joint or something like that. But be that as it may, these are the people that I've met over the past 30 years, and sadly, a lot of them are gone, like Frank Gorshin here, the Riddler. And I don't know who this one was. Another wannabe Scream Queen, but what the hell. Here's a good one. Classy Freddie Blassie. What a guy. Of course, he signs everything to Pete, a future champ. Well, I don't know. I'm a champ, I guess. And then there's Luscious Johnny Valiant, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. He was actually hit by a car. Let's see, what do we got here? Mary Warnoff, brief conversation with her. And this is fucked up, okay? Scotty Schwartz. Scotty was the kid who got his tongue stuck to the pole in The Christmas Story that was filmed here in Cleveland. And he was down in a room, and nobody knew who the fuck he was. So I announced over the microphone, if you want to meet the kid who got his tongue stuck to the pole in Christmas Story, he's signing wherever he was signing. Within 20 minutes of me saying that, he sold out of autographs. Scotty started doing porn now. Not that I ever want to see Scotty naked. Bruce Campbell, before he was ridiculously expensive, from The Evil Dead, he did one Chiller show. Really nice guy, Robert Quarry. Really cool guy. He was there in the early days. John Philip Law told me a few stories about one of my favorite actors, Lee Van Cleef, who we worked with in Death Rides a Horse. Of course, you got to have Kane Hodder's autograph. Sooner or later, he'll see me in hell. A lot of guys will see me in hell. Deborah Dutch. Cool lady. Still looks great today. I haven't seen her in years. I think she just came back out to Chiller. Another guy who I had a lot of fun with, Johnny Legend, in the Aztec Mummy. The captain himself, Captain Lou Albano, met him at Monster Mania. Sadly, I think he was in the throes of alcoholism at that time because he was acting a little bit confused, but it was great to meet him. Another cool guy, William Forsythe. He slipped me this under his manager or handler's nose because we were talking and about how, we were up till like 4 or 5 in the morning and we were out drinking guys half our age. And you know what he said to me? He goes, "We can do that because they don't make guys like us anymore." I thought that was the fucking coolest thing. Gary Clark from I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Stephanie Stokes, I don't know what happened to her. She was a singer. She had an album out. Then she just disappeared. Austin Stoker, what a nice guy. Unfortunately, we lost him this last year, too, from assault on Precinct 13. My old buddy, Bulldog Blansky, who now is living in Florida and is retired from the Squared Circle, I think. Cynthia Myers, what a sweetheart she was. And Mary D. Michelle from Dear Diary, I don't know what happened to her either. Dennis the Menace, Jay North. Candy Clark. Candy used to be there a lot because she lived in Montclair at the time. She was a cool lady. I actually got to smoke a joint with this gentleman here. What a pisser this was. And didn't get this one signed, but Spike Dudley and Balls Mahoney. Charles Cyphers, another cool guy. Here's a shot of me, Zachary, and Animal from Chiller. Reggie Bannister, another cool guy. I know his health has taken a really bad turn, but I can only wish him the best. He was great to hang out with. And another one who's left us, unfortunately, Road Warrior Animal. Great to meet him, too. Jonathan Harris. Well, let me tell you, in the next issue of Grindhouse Resurrection, there's going to be some Jonathan Harris stories by a guy who knew him very well. He was always cool with me. Always made sure I had his ride to the airport scheduled. He'd call me up, Peter, my boy, am I going to be able to leave here at 5:30 in the morning? I says, all hooked up for you, Doc. If they don't show, just give me a call and I'll be glad to take you. And I'm thinking, why the fuck did I say that? I'll be hungover as a bastard here. That's nothing there. Rudy Ray Moore. This was hanging in my store past my midnight video. And he wrote, to all you cheap honky motherfuckers that hang out here and don't spend any money. Another guy I miss terribly, Ted V. Michaels. What a sweetheart of a guy. Just loved film, loved making movies, and I just missed the guy terribly. Michelle Bauer, who basically my ex thought I was having an affair with her when we were still together. Well, in my usual lack of tact, I said if I was having an affair with Michelle, why the hell would I even bother with you? So that ended that relationship. Jonathan Hayes, another guy who was cool, smoked a lot of weed with him at the Chiller Show. I think he's still with us. I hope he's still with us. Tiffany Shepis, still around. I can't say she's a scream queen. She's a good horror actress and an overall great person. Luna Vachon, unfortunately, she's no longer with us. To Pete from the Queen of Mean. She was a really sweet lady. This is the autograph I completely regret getting because Soupy was recovering from a stroke and they just basically put the pen in his hand and pushed it across the thing, and if I had known he was that bad, I would have just dropped the money on the table, said thank you, and kept on going. Virgil the bodyguard, who's at every show, no matter whether he's welcome there or not. Unfortunately, I just heard that Virgil is having major health problems also. I can only wish him the best. Another shot of us with the immortal Oxbaker, me an animal. Another cool guy, Kevin McCarthy. He just basically signed everything, threw it on his table, then filled in your name later. Another guy that was really cool to meet, Robert Clark from The Hideous Sun Demon and Beyond the Time Barrier. Really great guy. And of course, Ingrid Pitt. She was a really cool lady too. Fortunately, neither of those two are with us anymore. This was one hell of a tough broad, Jeannie Carmen. Her and her son walked up to me when I was in full gimmick at the Chiller party and asked to have a picture taken with me, and I wish the fuck I had a copy of that picture. Jeffrey Combs was another guy I shared herbs with. Really cool guy. Had some pretty intense conversations with him. And at one Q&A, when things were lagging, I spiked it up a little bit. And after the Q&A, he thanked me for keeping it going. Brink Stevens, still working today. What a sweetheart of a lady. I saw her a couple of years ago at Wasteland. Still in the business and always cool. Well, not actually a shot of Frank Henenlotter, but he signed this picture after he found out I had them because he took them home and copied them because unfortunately he didn't have these. Tura Santana, another tough broad. I got a picture of her around here somewhere where basically she's got me in a chokehold and she's lifting me off the ground by my neck. New Jack. Crazy motherfucker that he was. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. Massive heart attack last year. And Spike Dudley. I don't think Spike's even working anymore. I think he completely got out of the business. He was pretty cool, too. Of course, Vanessa Del Rio, a perennial favorite of mine. And I still talk to her now and then. George the Animal Steel. He signed for my store to all the boys at Past Midnight Video. And him with his manager, Fred Blassie, which somehow they got a rip in that fucking picture there. Diane Thorne, Ilsa, She-Wolf for the SS. Another one we lost a couple years ago. Carl Strickland, Lurch, from, I guess, the Addams Family movie. Elvira had the honor of bodyguarding her for an entire weekend. What a cool lady she was. Monique Gabrielle, another scream queen. This is a shot for, I think this is Amazon Women on the Moon. Barbara Lay, the original Vampirella. She used to be a chiller all the time. Johnny Legend, what a character. He had every time he came out to Chiller, though, he brought a great fucking band with him. Carolyn Monroe, she's pretty much ageless. I haven't seen her in a couple of years, but she always used to come out and was always very cool with everybody. Another one from Tiffany Shepis. Another great lady. Barbara Crampton, met her finally at one of the Chillers also. Madman Pondo, I met him at Cinema Wasteland and marked out for him, and we became friends, hung out at Monster Mania a few times. He's still working, actually. He's in his, I think he just hit 50 or he's mid-50s or something like that, and he's wrestling every weekend in death matches. Backwards one. Cactus Jack. I brought Cactus into Chiller for about 4 hours when he was on his way to do a show in Vegas, a wrestling match in Vegas. And the late Jim the Anvil Neidhart also. Marilyn Burns, Sally from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Fortunately, this got water damaged, my only picture of Ox Baker. And the girls from Harm. I was actually emceeing a Godzilla show a couple times a year, and I met them there. They were cool, too. Here's a good one. I met the king, Russ Meyer, at Chiller. What a cool guy he was until the Alzheimer's kicked in. Dave Friedman brought him in. Here's a lost one. Lou Steele, the creep, who used to be on Channel 5 late at night. Coffin Joe, brought over by Something Weird Video, and Mike Vraney. It was definitely interesting meeting him. Robert Zadar, another one, stay out of jail or else. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. Cool guy. Margene Holder, met her at Chiller also. And this guy was from the Hollywood Nights, Gary, and he wrote me this personalized message on this thing, which was so fucking cool. And I finally got to meet William Smith as he came out for one show, another cool guy. And this is the first time I met Sid Haig. He only had one thing left. It was from Spider Baby, and I wanted an autograph, so I got it. And Scotty Levy, a.k.a. Raven, another, had a couple adventures with Raven, another cool guy. There's a story behind this. We went to see, I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre originally at a drive-in, but we were so fucking far back in the rows because the place was packed, I didn't get to see a lot of it. So me and a buddy named Ian, we went to see it at the RKO Twin in the Willowbrook Mall. And obviously guys had been in there for a while because they were making the pig noises. But on the way out, I actually stole this thing out of the front of the theater and had Gunner sign it. Another old friend, Debbie Rashan, who used to be at a lot of shows. I think she's basically getting back on the road again. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, Irish McCalla. Who would have thought? She came to one of the early shows, and it was a pleasure meeting her. And last but not least, Donna Spear, who I was bodyguarding at one show. Her and her husband were pretty cool. I know I got more laying around here somewhere, and I'll dig them out, but I just thought it'd be cool to show people, you know, some of the people that I came across in the 30 years or so of me doing cons. And of course, the question comes up, will we ever see you at another con? And I have to say, I'd say doubtful at this point, but never say never. There's certain ones I won't do for obvious reasons, but hey, if, say, Chiller wanted to bring me back for a final shot, yeah, I'd be up for it. So we'll see what happens down the road. So thanks again for tuning in and subscribing. Stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.